Howdy Crystal Conclave, it's NESHY, and welcome back to Crystal Beef, where we showcase the power of different Crystal Beast strategies. We're here with Gaby Moga X, and he's here with Crystal Beast Time Thief. Man, I love this list. How you doing, Gaby?
I'm doing okay.
You know, this list was a lot of fun to play against. You showed me the Crystal Beast Raid Raptor Time Thief one, and with the Chaos Engine too, and I actually tested that on stream. I loved it so much. I needed to play against build like this, and I think this is like a more concise version, not quite as fragile like you were saying, but I definitely want to test this deck out.
Yeah, this one's more mid-range. I try not to do it fully combo because it's fragile that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Even though I recently found a way you can anti-be with a combo, it won't always be live to do it, and even then there's still BD Crow and Ash.
So what do you call this deck, and what would you say is the synergy behind it?
Well, Crystal Tiny, simple as that. But it's mainly because, especially we need Zenith, it's because Crystal Beast can one card rank 4, and that's really enough to slap it in probably other different XC strategies, as long as they're not archetype locked. The best part about it is that you can summon it alongside Lambda, and Lambda has synergy with Redoer to search Gamma and make Gamma. And Time Thief is already mostly control mid-range, so it fits perfectly too. And you can run Conflict with it just fine in a version like this.
So what would you say is the end goal with this deck?
Just combo a little bit, make a board, and then just control the game state from there. Kind of like Salamangreats.
Sounds good. How would you say this deck provides an edge against the meta?
Since the meta somehow became slower with traps being more relevant, I guess this works just as fine. You can make it more trap heavy as well.
Yeah,
you don't have to play Crackdown. I just like playing Crackdown because Time Thief stealing cards.
Yeah, but also like with Vanity's Ruler being a good end board card right now with Drytron, yeah, Crackdown ain't a bad card to choose. Yeah, this is a sweet deck, and I went ahead and played my Ultimate Crystal Conclave deck, which I did a recent profile for on the channel. If you guys haven't checked that out, make sure to check it out. I provide a lot of theory behind the deck, and especially cards like Pot of Disparity, Crystal Master, just being huge cards to make sure that you see your engine all the time, even in a 50 card deck. You know, playing 50 cards so that you don't see these bricky beasts in your hand. Without further ado, Gaby, you ready to watch these replays?
Yes.
Alright, get your cameras ready, because we're about to start some Crystal Beef. You're going first, opening Chaos Space, Double Exceed, Gamma, and Rainbow Bridge. How would you rate this hand?
It's probably super great.
Yeah.
It already made the combo live with able to access Pegasus and Chaos. And Parallel Exceed is just extra on top for more extension.
Yeah. No, definitely summoning, like a lot of gas.
Yeah, summoning Perpetua next to the usual board I want to end with is very unlikely, but this was the most godly hand I could have had.
Yeah, I like the addition of Striker Dragon with the baby Chaos Dragons just to make the Lambda. That's really cool.
Yes. And as you all know, Redoer is a psychic monster, and it leaves, and since it vanished, it triggers Lambda.
Yep, shoutouts to Noah Bagelman. So I'm going to go ahead and stare down this board. I too have a pretty decent hand right here. And let's see, my thought process here, I definitely don't want to run into Gamma, but I know it's probably going to be inevitable. So I just normal summon Pegasus and see what happens. You didn't Gamma there, and then that's a spell effect. So I'm able to just kind of walk over the Lambda here. Do you think you would have played that differently?
Yeah, pretty much. I just didn't expect you would main phase 2 all that, since I still have other interruptions.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I didn't expect top decking a trap with Redoer after putting the effort of putting a trap with Perpetua.
Yeah, that was funny. It's like, oh, might as well just get a monster then at that point. But yeah, since this is a huge trap heavy deck, you have to deal with double Conclave Torrential and then Solemn Strike to protect it. And oh yeah, why didn't you set the flyback? Wanted to ask that too.
Because I already put a flyback from deck to redo it.
Gotcha.
I played 2 flybacks. And I'm thinking about possibly cutting Perpetua and flyback since it's not going to be likely. I could do more extenders or more heavy back row than that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Retrograde's high ceiling though, because I am afraid of Lightning Storm and Dark Ruler just shutting everything off.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely think Retrograde is a good one of... I think another good trap card to run would be the Phantom Knight Shade Brigadine.
Yeah.
That might be pretty good. Yeah, I go ahead and strike the Redoer and find out quickly that that actually doesn't do anything. Because Perpetua just brings it back and then Redoer.
Yeah, Perpetua also has a standby phase effect to revive Time Thief monsters.
Yeah.
And since it was the standby phase, Redoer gets to steal again, since that effect is not part once per turn.
And here comes the big Chainlink 6 with double Conclave Torrential, just trying to make the Redoer survive, and then go ahead double Conclave out the Zenith, and then the Pegasus. Because if I did a Pegasus and then a Pegasus, the first one would lose timing anyway. So it wouldn't be able to go there. And then that's where we get the Gamma out. I'd have to deal with it at some point or another, but you're able to just make Omega and just go off. And you have this other Gamma in hand, and the driver went to Graveyard, so you're able to just Gamma away this other Pegasus. I probably shouldn't have activated his effect, but I don't know. What else am I gonna do?
You didn't expect a second Gamma in the hand.
Exactly. And then I also just didn't expect this at all. Manhunt coming in clutch. Or Crackdown, you're right.
Yep, trying to make a Phoenix Force pop. Yeah, and this is another thing that I said about trying to do follow-up plays. I can barely even normal summon with a hand.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But then Pegasus Promise, that's pretty good.
Yeah. And I was able to attack and make a Zeus.
Yes, sir. Zeus gonna be pretty rough for me here. So I have to just do Amethyst Cap Beatdown. And then I decide to just set the UCM, because I'm gonna have to deal with the Zeus at some point. So it's like, might as well just do it now. Because you're just going to attack over it anyway. We draw the Ice Dragon's Prison. But that's not going to be able to banish that because you don't have a machine in the graveyard. So I go ahead and just summon a Pegasus, and you have the other Crackdown.
I don't even play the Time Thief devices either. Those were machines. I only play the Healing Time Thief.
Yeah, heading into game 2. So it looks like I'm going first. How would you rate this hand that you have here?
Almost the worst thing possible.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you could get a whole lot started. Basically just normal summon Winder. But Pegasus, Trap Trick, Strike, Bridge, that's pretty good. I'm able to play Conclave, Control, and Ultimate Crystal Magic. And flip up Conclave and stand my face. Yeah, that really sucks right there. Both baby Chaos Dragons. And then the Retrograde too. Well, you added that off Winder. But I go ahead and use that so that I don't draw the Ultimate Crystal Magic if that happens. Then Conclave, UCM.
It only negates when I control a Time Thief Xyz, and I just did it to thin deck.
Yeah, makes sense.
And okay.
That'd be game. So that was just a good old Time Thief Chaos Brick, huh?
Yeah, it needs consistency improvements. That's the main thing I need to go by that.
I think it's kind of hard, right? Because you want to crash the Winder so that you could turn the Chaos Engine on, and then...
Yeah,
but then...
I could have also done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have at least made Lambda and Parallel Exceed activate.
Yes, that's true.
But even then, I still had too much pressure with what you already had on board.
Yeah, it would have been tough either way. That was just a terrible hand. Because if you did crash, I would have the Conclave and Ultimate Crystal Magic, and it still wouldn't have been a big push. You would have had your deck turned on, but at what cost?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and go into game 3. So you're going first again. How would you rate this hand?
Again, same. Even better with double search.
Yeah. No, I'd say that's pretty strong right there. It sucks that you have Zenith. You definitely don't want to draw him in this deck, right? Because you're going first.
Yeah.
And then it sucks that you also opened a Rainbow Dragon.
Yeah. But hey, as long as I can do land the Redoer, it's completely fine.
Yes, sir.
And I search Conclave because it's already live because of, Bridge with Bond.
Yeah, this honestly is like not a bad board. Gamma, Bounce. That's almost like Orcus board, right?
Yeah.
Old school Orcus with IP.
Top decking a trap with Redoer.
So there's the Gamma coming down. And then I use Crystal Master. I probably should have used Crystal Master first because you could have Conclave bounced the Pegasus right as I activated Crystal Master. But I wanted to make sure that this couldn't be interrupted by the Conclave if I promised this out. But you just Redoer put it to the top of my deck, which is smart. I forgot that Redoer didn't target.
Yeah, Redoer doesn't. But Conclave does. Oh, and I think this is the duel where we find out something new that can often happen in the Crystal Mirror Man.
Yes! Oh my gosh, I did not like this. So, oh yeah, go ahead and Torrential right here.
Redoer Yeats to Vanish.
Yeah, that puts a Zenith. And Pegasus attacks. And then you're able to activate Zenith from the hand because it's just what a Crystal Beast battles.
In battle, you can summon Zenith. It doesn't matter who controls.
Yeah. And then I go ahead and try and crash into it to trigger the UCM, and you don't decide to Conclave. Why didn't you Conclave there?
Well, I couldn't Conclave because Crystal Master was protecting it from targeting.
Right.
I could have taken away the back row, but who could have known? I was being too conservative.
Yeah. I think for me, if I saw a Sapphire Pegasus trying to crash into something, I would think like, man, he's trying to activate a Conclave or an Ultimate Crystal Magic, even worse. So I think I would have bounced the back row there.
It's kind of like trying to play Hatred in Duel Links. If you use it, it's because you're sure you can OT.
Yeah, that's true. So you're forcing out the Overdragon there.
Yeah.
Putting back the Pegasus and the Zenith is pretty strong.
But I was able to...
That's going to go ahead and be game.
And I took no damage that whole duel.
Yeah, that was like... This deck is so good, dude. I love this deck. Like, if I'm going to lose this bad to any deck on Crystal Beef, like, this is the deck. Yeah, going into Game 4, how would you rate this hand?
It's a great hand as well.
Yeah, this one's pretty great.
Able to have 2 Gammas in hand as a surprise, as like last match, is also an added bonus.
Yeah. What
and
I love...
this time, search Retrograde.
Oh yeah, for sure. What I love too about playing Gamma in a Crystal Beast deck is, sure, this Rainbow Bridge like is a huge choke point because you need Pegasus access, but if they Ash the Bond, you have Gamma, and that's just gas.
And I can just make Lambda or Omega, and I can still have Driver and Graveyard live.
Exactly. Like, part of me is glad that I'm not playing Ash Blossom in this deck, because I would just get so punished. Yeah, I think I actually started off here just normal summon set 2 pass.
Yeah, I also heard that currently Ash is one of the most popular hand traps. It even increased in price, that surprised me. Seeing the comment in $15 though.
It's just so versatile, right? You use it against almost anything.
Yeah, it's just that for like many months, Ash has been considered like not a good hand trap, and now seeing it super viable again.
Yeah, because like we'd be playing against Adamancipator and Dragon Link, right? But then Ash doesn't do anything against them. You need like 2 or 3 Ashes in order to stop their turn, and then that UCM's going to pretty much pop off.
Yeah. I was able to negate the big crystal.
Yes.
And Crackdown.
So go ahead.
What hand trap I don't like not being a hard one per turn? Gamma.
Yep. I do not know why I activated Sapphire Pegasus' effect. But you know what? And we missed out on lethal because of it.
Yes.
But I think we still take this one. I'm not sure. Or no, I remember how this went.
Yes.
Oh no. The zero defense. And I'm so upset that attacking with an ultimate crystal doesn't trigger Zenith in hand.
Yeah. I think when they created Zenith, they wanted a card that says Rainbow Dragon, but it's not an ultimate crystal, but it is a crystal beast.
Yes, for sure. That makes sense. But I hate this though. If a face-up ultimate crystal monster you control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can banish it and place crystal beast.
Oh, yeah.
Why can't it be by battle too? Then this
But
promise would have been so nuts. My hand would have been turned on because of Ultimate Crystal Magic's banish effect. But they're just zero defense idiots sitting on the field that Baguska just walks over. And then Zeus...
I believe the pendulum that we don't use is the one that protects from battle, right?
Yeah, the Crystal Keeper.
The one that looks like Super Saiyan Jesse.
Yeah. So then, why did you make Zeus with just one material here?
I needed
detached with the winder.
I kind of wanted bigger stat monster. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have done it.
Zeus also has the added effect, where if a card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can attach a card from hand deck or extra deck. So you can attach a flyback to it, right? But then... I guess it makes sense too, because you can't put Baguska back to defense position, because it already attacked, so I guess Zeus is the right call here. And it's kind of nearing the end of the game, so that makes sense. And then that Bond top deck actually just saved me the game. That Bond top deck was crazy.
Yeah.
And I forget to not even use the Zenith effect in hand, but, you know, there it is. This was a pretty sad way to end it off, especially all the bricks we have in our hands. Driver, and then the Eagle, then I got the Neos and an Eagle.
We both got normal monster Eagle.
Yep, vanilla Eagle. So I think you're on the play right now, yep. Cast-based pitching Driver's pretty good, but then you have to banish it for the baby Chaos Dragon. Getting the free draw,
Gamma, but I wasn't really sure. Maybe I should have sent Gamma, I'm just not too sure.
It's tough to say, right? Because if you pitch the Gamma, yeah, I guess you just turn off all of your Gammas in your deck if you banish the Driver, because like this is gonna be dead either way.
Yeah, but it was also the fact that I couldn't even Xyz next to the Lambda anyway.
Yeah. So I think you're right. I think pitching the Gamma would actually be correct, because then it would be dead, because you only have the one Driver in your deck, right? You're not playing three like Ryan Levine.
Yeah, I'm not playing pure Cypher.
Yeah. Alright, so flipping up the Conclave, pretty nice with Eagle, and I get so tunnel visioned right here, and I want to just attack the Eagle. I'm like, I don't even realize the Crystal Conclave. I'm like, wait a second, that's actually crazy. Am I a fraud? Yes. Am I not a Crystal Beast player? And then before anything else happens, I want to attack the Lambda, but it doesn't matter, you have the Crackdown. I think I mentioned this too, where after I attack the Lambda, it makes sense to bounce it back, and then when I attack with the Zenith, you can use the Zenith in hand to summon, because you bounce back the Zenith to your hand, so then when I attacked with this one, you would summon Zenith and then crack down it, and then that would have been like crazy pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But let me go for some more.
I was also able to access code, but I was also afraid that you could just simply torrential tribute it away or conclave it away.
Yeah, that was smart not to overextend like that. Then trying to go for another ultimate crystal magic here. I wanted to attack with this first so it'd crystallize. And yes, that was the crazy thing. Because it's just a crystal beast battling something that's not a crystal beast. And it's like, man, Zenith is awesome in a mirror match.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had decent board pressing, but what cost me the game was having to get rid of the driver.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Disparity is just like a neat little thing here. I'm not going to be able to... Or I can activate it, but... I mean, what am I going to do? Shuffle your graveyard?
He was playing Phantom Knights.
True.
Look at that. 2 sad gammas I can't.
Yeah. That gamma would have been live if that one was the driver instead.
Oh yeah. This is where I brought up the funniest meme ever. You literally pull off the "Don't speak to me, nor my son, nor my grandson, nor my great-grandson ever again."
Literally the whole line. I summoned every possible rainbow thing in this game. The Rainbow Overdragon earlier, Rainbow Dragon, Zenith, Neos, and then he is the sun.
Yes. And he is the one with wings instead of eagle.
Alright, so we're gonna go ahead, go back into the deck and do a little post-game analysis. Alright, we're back with the deck. And Gaby, the first question I have for you is what would you have done differently in terms of technical play in those games?
Well, I think I brought up most of the mistakes. I think sending the gamma instead of driver could have been better. But in the end of the day, I wasn't too sure if I could have lasted. The other thing is, it's mostly because of the consistency issues I have. Not much of technical play, I would have done that differently.
That actually leads into the next question. What would you have done differently in terms of deck building?
I would have taken away flybacks and Perpetua and probably adding in other extenders. Maybe even actually run like Kage to Kage, which is actually searchable from Chaos Space, which is funny.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yeah, because it cannot be normal summon or set. And it's a dark monster.
Wow. Wait, that's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So, take out both flybacks?
Yeah, both flybacks and Perpetua, because I was only able to summon Perpetua once anyway, so...
Really? Taking out the Perpetua? Interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of low on the Tiny Thief part, but still effective, because it's mainly to make Lambda Gamma live.
Probably just one card.
And Redoer is such a good card to float in and out to just have a monster field. And if I ever top deck a trap, which traps are actually much more common nowadays, it gives more value that way. Sure, RNG, but it's still effective when it does. Would
you play a third promise or cut promise down to 1?
I think I would keep it at 2. But it's also just an easy card to side in and out between. So I think 2 is okay if you deck. I don't know if I could cut a conclave, could just be a side thing. Or if I put in more eagles, I don't know. It's the main issue is also not able to normal summon for next turn because I don't have that many normal summonable monsters.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. How does the new Time Thief support help this deck? What would you change about it?
Oh yeah, Tiny Thief, Adjuster, and Double Barrel. Double Barrel looks like just an alternative monster over Redoer. The main issue is that it can't attach cards on its own like Redoer does in the standby. But I wouldn't call it too terrible. The other thing is that it's not a quick effect, it only activates responsive when an opponent activates monster effect. But the effects are, if trap, negate a monster, if spell, steal a monster until the end of the turn, and monster just gains summon. Not the greatest, but it does have value here and there. The problem is, again, it can't attack things by itself, so it needs to be much more purish Time Thieves to give it the spell and the trap it needs for the better effects. But Adjuster, definite 3 of 4 Time Thief decks, because it is an extender. Yeah. It's also better than Kage to Kage, because Kage to Kage misses timing. It says when Perpetua, Adjuster, sets if. They're interesting cards.
Yeah, I especially like the Gamma Lambda combo with Redoer. I think it's awesome playing it with Bond too, because Bond getting Ash is like one of the worst things about playing Crystal Beast, but playing the Gamma essentially as a Called by the Grave, I think is really neat. You have extra synergy with the Parallax Seed.
And you don't even have to play Redoer. Gamma can be built in any very controlled type of Crystal Beast card just for that. Because other things you can just immediately summon, it's Omega, and you can just rip a card. And you have a monster that just keeps floating in and out that way too.
Yeah, for sure.
Or straight up into a Lambda if you drew 2 Gamma, just to keep the other Gamma alive.
Oh yeah, huh. Alright, well that's going to do it. If you guys want to join in on another episode of Crystal Beef, make sure to message me on Discord or Facebook. And join the Crystal Beast Discord. We'd love to have any kind of Crystal Beast players in this community. And I'll catch you guys next time.
I would argue he's advanced Crystal Beast more than anyone else has ever done in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!